Hello and welcome to your springtime flow. Today we'll be starting in a child's pose. All right, so let's bring our hips towards the back of the mat. The big toes touch and the hips will come down to sit on top of the heels. Walk your hands towards the front of your mat and let your forehead rest onto your mat. Take a big, deep inhale here and exhale through the mouth. Again, just like that, inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And starting to connect with your body and with your breath. Coming into this moment, the present moment. Establishing a nice connection with the breath before we start to move into more physical postures. Maybe you want to bring an intention into mind as we move into spring. What are some things that you could let go of? Patterns, habits, things that are holding you back. What could you let go of? And slowly start to walk your hands back towards your knees, coming up into a kneeling position. And if this does not feel comfortable for you, I invite you to sit in a seated posture. Moving into a gentle twist here. So on the inhale, we extend the head towards the sky, and on the exhale, twist over towards the left side. Place the right hand on the right knee. The left hand gently places to the side or right and back of you. The gaze is right over the left shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Over on towards the right side. First, inhale, lengthen the crown of the head up. And exhale, twist over. And come back to center. Inhale, rise the arms up overhead. Look up. Exhale, drop the left hand down. Slide the hips off the heels over towards the right side. And then go into a side body stretch by reaching over towards the left. Keeping the abs engaged here by pulling the belly button back towards the spine. That's a tongue twister. Say that 5 times fast. Inhale, come back through center. Bring the hips up onto the heels. And then exhale over towards the right. So inhale the left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, bend on over towards the right side. Really looking for length here in this posture. So making sure that we're reaching as much as we can up towards the sky and then folding over towards the side. And come back to center. Take a moment for your spine to realign. And then meet me in tabletop. Hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tops of the feet flat on your mat. Tuck the toes, lift the knees about 1 inch off your mat. Pull the belly button back to your spine. Lift yourself out of the shoulders so we're not sinking in here. Feeling strong. Feel the heat build. One more deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send the hips towards the back. Keep a nice bend in the knees. First downward dog of our practice. Belly button gently pulling back to the spine. Wow, that's going to be a hard one to say. On your next inhale, rise high in the toes. Exhale, let the heels fall back down. Again, just like that, inhale, rise high in the toes. This time, drop the heels over towards the right. Maybe look under the left armpit. Rise high back on the toes, come through center. Over towards the right side, looking under the right armpit. And back through center. Slowly walking your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. 8 to 10 tiny baby steps. Keeping the knees bent as far as you can go. And then exhale, ragdoll, grab opposite elbows, let the head fall down towards your mat. Decompress the spine. Deep bend in the knees. On your inhale, slowly start to rise up to standing Tadasana. Head is the last thing to rise. Rise the arms overhead, look up. Hands come down in front of the heart center in prayer position. Anchoring down in all four corners of each foot. Tucking the pelvis, slight bend in the knees. Eyes come to a close. Bringing your intention back into mind. Anchoring it in. And on your inhale, rise your arms back up to the sky, look up. Flowing through Sun Salutation A. So exhale, forward fold, chest to thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, looking forward. Exhale, step back into your high plank. Engage the core, lift out of the shoulders. Option to drop the knees, chaturanga. Drop the chest down towards your mat. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra to start. And then exhale, downward facing dog, send the hips back. Starting to build heat, moving a little bit faster. So inhale, rise high in the toes. Step the right foot forward, then the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Roll up, Tadasana. Arms reach up overhead. Hands to prayer. Reach the arms up. And this time, let's tuck the right toes behind the left. On the exhale, start to bring your chest down towards your thighs. Option to place your hands on blocks if you have them. Or if you don't reach quite your mat, you can place your hands on your shins, on your knees, whatever feels most comfortable. On your exhale, walk your right toes back into plank and meet with the left. Chaturanga, low tricep push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step the left toes up and then the right. Forward fold. Rise up to Tadasana. Arms reach up overhead. Hands to heart center. Reach the arms up, look up. This time crossing the left toes behind the right. Forward fold, chest to thighs. Totally optional to stick the hands under the feet here. My hands are just freezing, so trying to look for some warmth. And then step your right foot back into plank, or your left foot, my bad, and then meet it with the right. Lower down. Low tricep push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Maybe walking out your dog. Coming back to your body. Back to this moment. On your inhale, rise the right toes high to the sky, 3-point. Three-legged dog. Exhale, warrior one. Bring your knee in towards your nose and then place your foot in between your hands. Your back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Biceps come right next to the ears. Exhale, warrior two towards the left. You might have some kinks in that front hip. Might need to bend and shift the position of the hip to really find comfort there. Your gaze is over the front fingertips. Peaceful warrior, reaching towards the back of the mat. And then exhale, revolved angle, placing the left hand down on the mat, right fingertips up towards the sky. Step the back foot in a couple inches. Revolve triangle. Straighten both legs. And see if you can twist the chest more towards the right side. Now listen closely here. Place both hands down onto the mat. Your back foot, step it back a little bit farther. Now the foot that's in between your hands, bring it back into a 3-point, three-legged dog. And then bend and stack. Flex the foot, pull it back towards the left shoulder, and open the hips towards the right side. Pushing it out of the shoulders by pushing it into the hands and the fingertips. Exhale, bring the foot through into a low lunge. So bring the knee towards the nose and then place the foot in between the hands. Drop down onto the back knee, untuck the toes. Pause here for just a moment. And step back into your high plank by tucking the back toes. And then send the right leg back. Chaturanga, low tricep push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. And we'll flow through on the left side. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, three-legged dog. Left toes rise high to the sky. Exhale, warrior one. Warrior two, open towards the right. Gazes over the left fingertips. Making sure that your front foot is perpendicular to your mat. And your back foot, your right foot, is parallel to your mat. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Left fingertips towards the back. And then exhale, revolved angle. Placing the right fingertips down on the mat. Left fingertips up towards the sky. Revolve triangle. Step the back foot in and then straighten both legs. Pull belly button back to the spine. And then try and see if you can twist those shoulders open a little bit more towards the right side. Towards the left side, my bad. Transitioning into bend and stack. So step the right foot back a little bit. And then send your left toes into 3-point. Bend and stack. And really lifting out of the shoulders. Pulling the belly button back to the spine. Low lunge. Bring your knee in towards your nose and then place your foot in between the hands. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Option to come up, hands onto the knee, if that feels good. Place your hands back down onto the mat. Plank. Send both feet towards the back. Flow it out. Low tricep push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3-point with the right toes. Rise them high to the sky for just a moment. And we'll transition into pigeon on the right side. So bring your knee in towards the right elbow. And drop the knee down on the mat. And then move your ankle towards the left hand as much as you can. Drop back down onto the left knee. Place your hips down on the mat. Now here, it's up to you to adjust the positioning of your ankle in proportion to your knee. The more extended your ankle is towards the front of the mat, aka the more parallel in line with your knee, the deeper stretch in the side of the leg. So if you want to go easy first, we can keep the heel in. Take a deep inhale and then start to walk those fingertips forward. You can come down onto, well, you can stay up on your hands, come down onto your shoulders. Come down onto your elbows. Wow, that cold is really getting to my brain. Or you can come and place your forehead all the way down onto the mat. The spring is such a beautiful time for new beginnings. I mean, if we look at nature all around us, everything is restarting. Little baby birds and bunnies are being born, and flowers are starting to peek through. And since we are human, we are part of nature. Although a lot of us like to believe we are the one exception, but I hate to break it to you, but that's not true. And so take inspiration from this. And how can you create spring in your personal life? What new beginnings do you want to start putting energy towards, and how do you want to start coming out of the hibernation or your shell of winter? AKA, what kinds of things do you want to let go of? And when you're ready, and slowly walk your hands back up. And then send the foot back into a downward facing dog. So you'll just push into the hands to lift the hips, and then walk the feet back into your down dog. And we'll transition into the left side. So left toes up towards the sky, 3-point. Pigeon. Bring your knee towards the left elbow, and then drop it down. Drop your hips down on the mat. Again, take any sort of adjustments that need to be taken here. Honor your body, honor your limits. And when you're ready, walk your fingertips down. Maybe you have one side that's a lot more flexible than the other. Just bringing some awareness to that. In Chinese medicine, we have a meridian, so an energy line that exists all the way through our inner thighs, and that's the liver meridian. And basically the theory of Chinese medicine states that spring, this time of spring, is connected to this specific organ system and meridian line. And so by stretching our inner thighs, we can help with certain ailments or emotions that we might see more of in the springtime. That includes maybe any frustration or anger. Anger is a big one. I know I see a lot of that in the springtime, because there's all this energy of like blossoming and going up. Like I said before, the flowers that are blooming, all this energy that's bursting out of the ground into the earth. And it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly normal to have that. But sometimes we like to have a little bit of help, working through those blockages. And pigeon posture is amazing for that. Slowly walk your hands back towards your leg. And we'll send the hips back into a down dog, our last down dog of the session or of this video. When you're ready, you can just come down into a seated position. I invite you to lay down actually and take a shavasana if you have the time. But if not, you can just come down into that seated position and place your hands onto your knees, let your eyes come to a close. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And thank yourself. Thank yourself for coming to your mat today to honor your body, to honor the seasons, the change of the seasons. And knowing that this wisdom, being connected to nature, being connected to how that affects you, will take you farther than anything else. Anything else in this life. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I hope to see you soon.